There's two pricing structures. One is per minute. So a lot of the, Twilio-backed companies of the world, Twilio is a telephony provider, they want to charge by the minute. And that would be like maybe 1 or 2 cents per minute. You can also have some companies that say per agent. So each agent that you have, it's $150 a month. Simple Talk uses that model. Callers.ai also has a two-prong pricing model. You could do it per interaction. So if you're a smaller business and you don't anticipate having a lot of phone calls, then you could do the per interaction model, and ends up being like $1.50 per interaction or so. But as your volume goes up, all of these prices start going down. And I'll show you our live account. It's called Balto. So this is Balto right now. These are all the people that are actively on calls. This is from a call center in India, hence the names. There's a few actions here, right? I can listen in. I can stop the listening in. I can also barge in if I wanted to. If someone has a faulty headset, it's actually telling me that there's a few audio issues. So now I can listen in and see if it's on the customer end or if it's on our end. But if I go into Discover, here's a log of all of the previous ones that have some dispositions here, and I can go back and listen into those. Everything has a score associated with it. But the coolest part is going to be this. So it's going to comb through all the calls and give me reasons for why people actually call in. So this is for one of the portfolios that we service. It's a lending portfolio. And so some of the reasons could be they're calling about their loan application, they're calling about making a payment, could be any number of those things. But what it's doing is it's combing through the entire list of calls in the last 60 days, and it's going to give me specific instances and trends that it's identifying. We also use this tool for coaching. So we can sit down with a specific agent and we can say, hey, you're doing a really good job here and you're not, you need to improve in this other area. And this is objective feedback. So, they're sitting down with a manager reviewing their actual calls. I think that with people who are sales reps specifically, they could be very prideful in their technique. So if you really want to get them to switch their approach and change how they're handling specific customers, it's nice to have a tool that kind of looks at every one of their calls, identifies a pattern. Maybe they're rushing through a specific aspect. I'll show you another training tool in a second, but here's what Balto just came up with the frequencies, right? So 26% of the time, people are calling in because they're asking about loan applications. And I can actually click here and see the evidence. It's going to refer me back to specific calls. And it's going to pull instances. I can go back, view the call. I can expand the summary. I could go back and listen to the call if I wanted to. So it makes it really, really simple because now I have an AI-driven summary. I can leave the agent a private note. So the next time they log in, they're going to see that a manager looked through that call, and we went from there. But let me go to Pitch Monster, and I can show you an instance of how we can create specific scenarios for training. So this is a sample account, and we've got a few sample calls here. So this is brand new agents that are coming online, and they're essentially going to be doing role playing in specific scenarios to figure out if they're ready to hit the phone calls speaking to real people. So rather than having them practice with a human, we're actually creating video and audio role plays for them to go through, and their scores are supposed to improve. So this guy went through and did a role play. Here's a transcript. The person he's speaking to is a bot. So no customers were harmed in this making. So you've got some scores here for how he did in the intro. He did great in the verification. Looks like he just followed the script. It has a customer, feeling that they've been heard. Probably not. So let me show you where the comments and the trackers are. It's basically saying, you said, I just want to let you know that this call is being recorded. Why don't you change it to say instead, just a heads up, Robert, this call is recorded for quality. Now, how can I help you fix your bank account, right? It's giving that agent training in terms of like, here's what you could say instead. Here's what you could add in just to make the customer feel a little bit more comfortable. And here's your AI coach. And it's giving him information on, here's how I would change your intro. Here's how I would approach the verification. Here's other areas that I could change, like for your security. It's giving script related changes. It basically goes through just like a human would and give you a full analysis on, what you're doing. So actually, let me see if I can even get you a cold call role play. So these are all different scenarios. If I go into edit role play here, You can see what I've done. I've named it. I've given it a type of role play. I said I want this to be a phone conversation. I could easily have said this as a face-to-face or even a screen share conversation. I could even have it be flashcards as opposed to, an actual AI speaking to the customer. I've given it very basic user guidelines. This is for selling a lead on the insurance side, right? They have a lead that comes in. They're trying to sell that lead. Here's an example call, so a perfect call of what that could look like. I can even add in additional calls, so a role play could have 20, 30, 40 calls, save it, and the next time the agent logs in, they have a bunch of different role plays that they could practice, and it'll give them a grading sheet, rubric, feedback, all the above.